Hey guys, welcome back. This is Mitch here. Well, my survey results are in from a month and a half ago. The question was simply, what bothers you about cruising, right? So I got over 125 responses. So let's see what bothers people about their cruise. Okay, so the first thing was, now hang on now, this was people's opinions. They wrote to me. This does not reflect me personally, okay? Just so you know right now. Okay, let's get right down into it. The first one said, the gentleman said, they said it was $400, but I got a bill for $575. So he's talking about not showing you the real price. He's talking about tips and gratuities and blah, blah, blah. And he was irritated that he wasn't shown the real price up front. There we go, right? Number two was keep kids in kids areas. It is very uncomfortable to have kids in the hot tub with us adults. And that's how they felt about that. They felt that kids should be kept in kids areas and adults should be in adult areas. That's always up for, on the cruises we've been to, we've seen kids sometimes and with adults sometimes, and we've seen no kids here and there. But on the Regal Princess, there's an area in the back that's just for adults only. So there's no kids allowed back there whatsoever. So, it all depends, right? Number three complaint is people with the portable Bluetooth speakers on the balcony. Turn that down. People don't like that. There's a lot of complaints about that now, So again, if they would just understand it's just for them and their balcony, it's fine. But people say these things are blasting so far, it just makes it difficult sometimes, right? And again, this is sometimes, not all the time, right? This happens sometimes, okay? At this point here, too, please subscribe to my channel, hit like, and also, too, I want you to comment down below about what you did not like about your last cruise, because I want to make a number 2 video, okay, right? Number 4 was enforce the rules you already have. So a lot of these cruise lines are like little cities, right? So they already have rules there on the books, but sometimes these rules are not being enforced. They're not being supported. They're not even being recognized, right? So a lot of people are saying, look, I paid money for this cruise to have a certain expectation, right? And so some of the rules are obviously being broken. They're not being enforced. So people are saying, please enforce these rules. Number 5 is transparency with gratuities. That's a common theme I'm seeing when the survey came back. People were constantly saying these things seem to be hidden. These gratuities are like undercover, like sneaking up on people, And people say, look, we don't mind that, but let us know ahead of time. That came across all the cruise ships. I got the survey back from Royal Caribbean to Princess to the MSC to whatever. It all came back across all the cruise ships. They are not being transparent with the fees and the gratuities, okay? Number 7 is a big one, is the pool people who hog the pool chairs. This I saw on our last trip. We had a person out there holding up, I think it was 4 chairs for herself and her person, My wife wanted to have a seat there. The lady tried to say, no, this is mine too. I said, no, it's not. You have one already. Your guy has one there as well. I took that chair for my wife to make sure she had a place to sit down there as well. Now, I shouldn't have to tell a grown adult, do not hold up 4 chairs for 2 people, but I did anyway, okay? Because I want to make sure my wife was comfortable, right? So with the rules of common decency in place, I shouldn't have to tell people that, but that's what happens, right? So obviously other people feel the same way. And here's a simple rule, you get up there to the place. If you have your honey with you, reserve one for her or him, but have one for yourself, and that's all you need to do. Don't hold there for days and weeks and a long time for these chairs. That's not fair to everybody else, because they too paid the same price, if not more than you did for that same cruise, okay? So people are saying, don't be a chair hog, and I understand that completely because I too experienced that up front and close. Another one was, again, here we go again with the gratuities and the transparencies, right? It's happening again and again and again. And another guy said he just wants to see the real price, and I understand that. He's not saying it makes him angry about the price. What made him angry is that they're not being transparent, so that makes sense, right? Another person saying just the price of basic things. He noted that on his trip, he paid $20 for a glass of wine and $18 for a glass of ale. Now, we know when we go to like a bar, things are a little bit increased in price. We know that already, right? But he was saying this seemed exorbitant, to be paying so much more. And again, he's not saying he doesn't want to pay. He's just saying that the $20 for a glass of wine seemed a bit much, right? There we go. Number 10, I just did a video on the Icon of the Seas, right? This ship is so huge it holds 7,760 passengers, along with the crew about 10,000 people. But this guy said, you know what? Great. The beasts are awesome. The big old beasts out there, great. But he's saying, please keep the small ones going too, because they're my favorite. You have a sense of, comfort, a sense they're small, they just fit him better. And he says a lot of his friends feel the same way. Yeah, the floating cities are also exciting, but he said too, please keep it the small ones in the fleet also, right? There we go. And here's one I keep hearing. So the last one, I keep hearing this time and time again. Basic common decency seems to be going away every year with cruise ship passengers, right? People putting their fingers in the buffet, people cussing loudly, people on their cell phones loud. People are getting tired of that. And me too. I don't like that either. On my cruise ship, I don't want to have to hear your phone conversation on a cruise ship or not. I feel the same way too, of course, And the cussing out loud, come on. That's for your room or for your person, but no one wants to hear your loud broadcasting of bad words. That doesn't make it cool. No one cares about that, So those I feel are legitimate, for sure. And keep your fingers out of the buffet. My gosh, that's pretty basic stuff, But every year, this guy says it seems to be going downward. He's been on 48 different cruises, and he said it's been declining since, right? So there we go. Now, this is my opinion. Now, I want to tell you my opinion. My degree is in economics. That's my education there. So people are complaining about the prices of the cruise ships, sometimes, or how much a drink costs, or how much a room costs, or whatever it costs, right? Now, if you look at it from an economic point of view, all economies will keep on charging and charging and charging as long as the market will bear that. Meaning that as long as you're willing to pay, or we as a whole are willing to pay $20 for that glass of wine or $18 for that beer, they're going to keep on charging you for that. As long as there's not really complaints about maybe gratuities being too high or whatever it is, right? If the market doesn't speak up, meaning you, right, then those fees still keep adding up. They'll keep on hammering you with these high bills, in your opinion, whatever high is for you. They'll keep on throwing it your way until you speak up. The market will bear, right? The market will keep on bearing it as long as you keep paying it. Until you start making complaints or making your voice known, then it won't be so bad, because then the cruise ship lines might say, okay, it's not a bad point, right? Because one thing one guy said, I tell you about, was the Wi-Fi. He didn't understand why there was such a heavy Wi-Fi fee, because he said in normal life, there is no Wi-Fi fee, right? And he says with all the technology out there, why is not there a free or basic Wi-Fi on the ship? Because he said a lot of the apps we use on our phones that are tied to the ship are Wi-Fi dependent. That's a pretty good argument, right? And so he's asking, why is it then so expensive to use Wi-Fi? And he's right, it's very expensive to use Wi-Fi. I'll do a Wi-Fi package for you guys in a few days. But anyway, so those are good points to make. So again, as from an economist point of view, as long as you're paying, the market will keep hammering you down for those prices. And they might even increase until they hear from you. Understand? Until they hear from the people. Okay? That's how that works. So anyway, those are the top complaints. Not mine. Don't put that on me. But I'm telling you though, and please, I want you to do this. I know I have a lot of pro cruisers who watch this channel. I want you people, please, to put down below in the comments there, please, what bugs you about cruising. I got to hear from you so I can make a part 2 and a part 3 and a part 4 for this video compilation, okay? And again, I want to thank all of you for subscribing, for commenting, and for liking this video. If you haven't subscribed, do so now, okay? Thanks a lot.